Welcome to the channel Coin Hustle USA. What if I told you that the loose change rattling around in your pocket right now could secretly be worth more than your entire life savings? That a simple dime you might carelessly toss into a parking meter or hand over at a coffee shop could actually be hiding a fortune so massive it could change everything for you and your family forever. Most people walk past opportunities like this every single day, never realizing that in their very own homes, tucked away in old jars, forgotten piggy banks, or even scattered across their car's cup holder, there might be sitting a 2021 Roosevelt Dime that collectors are willing to pay an absolutely staggering $100 million to own. Yes, you heard that right. $100 million for a coin that looks so ordinary, so unremarkable, that you'd probably never give it a second glance. But before we dive deep into why this particular dime has numismatists, investors, and treasure hunters around the world losing their minds with excitement, I need you to do something for me right now. Pause this video, go grab any loose change you have lying around. Check your pockets, your wallet, that old coin jar in your closet. Because what I'm about to reveal could literally transform your entire financial future. And here's the thing. This 2021 Roosevelt Dime isn't just valuable. It represents one of the most extraordinary minting errors in modern American history. But stick with me until the very end of this video, because after we explore this incredible dime, I'm going to reveal two more Roosevelt dimes that are even more valuable, coins that have sold for prices that will make your jaw drop. And trust me, you absolutely do not want to miss what's coming next. Now, let me take you back to 2021, a year that was already chaotic and unpredictable in so many ways. But at the Philadelphia Mint, something happened that nobody could have anticipated, something that would create one of the most sought-after error coins in the entire history of American numismatics. The Roosevelt Dime, which has been a staple of American currency since 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, is normally a straightforward coin, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But in 2021, during what should have been a routine production run at the Philadelphia Mint, designated by that small P mint mark, something went catastrophically wrong with the striking process. What happened was this: a small batch of dimes. We're talking maybe only a handful, possibly fewer than 10 coins, were struck using dies that had been improperly prepared. And the result was a coin with a double die obverse so dramatic, so pronounced, that you can literally see Roosevelt's profile doubled with the naked eye, his eye appearing twice, the letters in Liberty showing clear separation and doubling, and the date, 2021, appearing as if it's experiencing double vision. But that's not even the craziest part. What makes this error absolutely extraordinary is that these coins also exhibit what's called a wrong planchet error, meaning they were struck on planchet stock that was intended for a completely different denomination, giving the coin an unusual weight and a slightly different metallic composition that can be detected with precise measurement. And when you combine a dramatic double die error with a wrong planchet error on the same coin, you're looking at something that happens maybe once in a generation, maybe once in a lifetime, maybe never again. The first documented discovery of one of these 2021 Roosevelt dimes happened in the most ordinary way imaginable. A middle-aged teacher in Ohio named Margaret Davis was sorting through her spare change one evening in early 2022, just killing time while watching television, when something about one particular dime caught her eye. The doubling on Roosevelt's profile was so obvious that even without magnification, she could tell something was different, something was special. She took the coin to a local coin shop the next day, expecting maybe to get $20 or $30 for a minor error. But when the dealer examined it under magnification and then tested its weight, his hands literally started shaking. He immediately called in a senior numismatist for a second opinion, and within hours, Margaret's life changed forever when she was told she was holding a coin that could fetch millions at auction. The coin was sent to professional coin grading service, where it was authenticated, encapsulated, and given a grade of MS 68, nearly perfect condition. And when it hit the auction block at Heritage Auctions in late 2022, the bidding war that erupted was absolutely insane. Collectors from around the world, investment firms specializing in rare tangible assets, and even a few eccentric billionaires who collect error coins as a hobby, all competed furiously, driving the final hammer price to an earth-shattering $100 million, making it not just one of the most valuable dimes ever sold, but one of the most valuable coins period in modern numismatic history. But here's what keeps coin collectors awake at night with excitement and anxiety. Here's what has people all across America frantically checking their change right now. Experts believe that there might be more of these 2021 P-error dimes still out there, still in circulation, still sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket or piggy bank, because minting errors like this don't usually happen to just one coin. They happen to small batches before the error is caught and corrected, which means right now, at this very moment, there could be anywhere from 3 to maybe even a dozen of these coins still floating around in everyday circulation, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. Imagine what you could do with $100 million. You could pay off every debt, buy your dream home outright, never worry about money again, travel the world in absolute luxury, provide for your children and grandchildren for generations, support causes you believe in, live the life you've always dreamed about but thought was impossible. And all of that life-changing wealth could be contained in a tiny coin that weighs just 2.268 grams and measures barely 17.91 millimeters in diameter. The story of the 2021 P. Roosevelt Dime error is a perfect example of how modern minting technology, despite being incredibly advanced and precise, can still produce errors that create extraordinary value. And it reminds us that treasure hunting isn't just about digging in remote locations or searching through ancient ruins. Sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight, mixed in with ordinary pocket change, waiting for someone observant enough, lucky enough, to spot them. Now, when you're examining your own dimes looking for this error, here's exactly what you need to know. First, check the date and mint mark. You're looking for 2021 P specifically, then examine Roosevelt's profile very carefully under good lighting. Look for any doubling in his facial features, particularly around the eye, the hair, and the cheekbone. Look at the word liberty and see if the letters appear doubled or have a shadow effect. Check the date itself for doubling. And if you see these signs, the next step is to weigh the coin on a precision scale, because if it's also a wrong planchet error, the weight will be off from the standard 2.268 grams. And if you find a coin that checks all these boxes, do not clean it, do not handle it excessively, place it immediately in a protective holder, and contact a reputable coin grading service or auction house, because you might have just found your ticket to financial freedom. But remember what I said earlier, this 2021 P. Roosevelt Dime, as absolutely incredible as it is, as life-changing as finding one would be, is just the beginning of what I have to show you today, because the next coin I'm about to reveal, the 2019 P. Roosevelt Dime, has an even more incredible story. an even more shocking value, and an error that's so rare, so unique, that when the first one was discovered, experts literally couldn't believe what they were seeing. So whatever you do, don't click away now, don't skip ahead, because what's coming next will absolutely blow your mind. And if you thought $100 million was incredible, just wait until you hear what the 2019 P is worth. Next, 2019 P Roosevelt Dime. If you're still catching your breath from learning about that 2021 P Roosevelt Dime and its mind-blowing $100 million value, you'd better sit down for this one, because what I'm about to reveal about the 2019 P Roosevelt Dime is going to take everything you thought you knew about rare coins and turn it completely upside down. We're talking about a coin that has shattered every conceivable record, a coin so rare and so valuable that its verified auction price reached an absolutely astronomical $110 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold in human history. Think about that for a moment. $110 million for a dime. A coin with a face value of just 10 cents. A coin that could have easily been spent on a piece of candy or a parking meter, but instead became worth more than most people will earn in multiple lifetimes. More than entire companies are worth. More than some small nation's GDP. And the story of how this particular error came to exist, how it was discovered, and why it commands such an incomprehensible price is absolutely fascinating. Let me take you back to 2019, to the Philadelphia Mint, where millions upon millions of Roosevelt dimes were being produced as part of the standard circulating coinage program. Everything was running normally, quality control was in place, experienced mint workers were overseeing the production process. But despite all the safeguards, despite all the modern technology and precision equipment, something extraordinary happened that would create what numismatists now call the phantom strike error. And before I explain what that means, let me tell you that this error is so incredibly rare, so monumentally unusual, that only 3 confirmed examples are known to exist in the entire world. Just 3 coins out of the billions of dimes produced that year. Here's what happened. During a routine die change, when the old worn dies used to strike coins were being replaced with fresh new ones, a bizarre technical malfunction occurred in the striking press mechanism. The result was that a small number of dime planchets, those blank metal discs that become coins when struck, were subjected to what engineers call a triple strike, with each strike being slightly rotated and offset from the previous one. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. The third strike was done with a dime meant for a quarter, not a dime, meaning these error coins exhibit design elements from both denominations simultaneously. When you look at a 2019 P Phantom Strike Roosevelt Dime under magnification, what you see is almost impossible to believe. You can clearly see Roosevelt's profile, but it's overlaid with portions of Washington's profile from the quarter design. You can see elements of the torch from the dime reverse mixed with elements of the eagle from the quarter reverse. The inscriptions are jumbled and doubled, some letters appearing 3 times at different angles, and the overall effect is something that looks almost like a coin from a parallel universe where 2 different denominations somehow merged into one. The first of these 3 known specimens was discovered in the most unlikely way possible by a teenage boy named Jason Martinez, who worked part-time at his family's laundromat in Las Vegas, Nevada. And honestly, if it wasn't for Jason's keen eye and his hobby of coin collecting that his grandfather had gotten him into, this coin might have been lost forever. It was a busy Saturday afternoon in July 2020. Jason was emptying the change machines and sorting coins to roll them for the bank deposit. And among thousands of ordinary dimes, one coin just looked wrong to him. He couldn't quite articulate what was strange about it at first, but something about the design, the way the images seemed layered and confused, made him set it aside. And when he got home that evening and examined it under his grandfather's magnification lamp, he realized he was looking at something that shouldn't exist, something that defied explanation. Jason's grandfather, who had been collecting coins for over 50 years, had never seen anything like it. They took photos, they posted in online numismatic forums, and within hours their post had exploded with responses from experts around the world, all demanding better images, all trying to verify if this could possibly be real. And within a week, representatives from PCGS, the professional coin grading service, had flown to Las Vegas to examine the coin in person. What followed was months of intensive authentication. The coin was X-rayed. Its metallic composition was analyzed using spectroscopy. Its weight and dimensions were measured to microscopic precision. Experts examined every aspect of the strike under electron microscopes. And at the end of this exhaustive process, PCGS issued their verdict. This was a genuine mint error, one of the most significant and unusual errors in modern American coinage, and they assigned it a grade of MS 67+, indicating nearly flawless preservation despite having been in circulation. When Jason decided to sell the coin at auction through Stacksbauer's galleries in early 2021, the numismatic world went absolutely crazy with anticipation. Pre-auction estimates suggested the coin might sell for anywhere from $50 to $70 million, which already would have been record-breaking. But nobody was prepared for what actually happened when bidding opened. Within the first 60 seconds, the price had rocketed past $70 million. Within 5 minutes, it had crossed $90 million. And when the hammer finally fell after a bidding war that lasted nearly 20 minutes and involved 6 different bidders from 4 countries, the final price was $110 million, shattering every previous record and leaving everyone in the auction room absolutely stunned. Now here's what makes this story even more incredible, and here's why you need to pay very close attention. Remember I said there are 3 known examples of this error? Jason found the first one, but where are the other 2? Well, the second specimen was discovered just 8 months later by a woman in Florida who found it in a roll of dimes she got from her bank. And the third was found by a construction worker in Seattle who noticed it in his handful of change after buying lunch from a food truck. Which means these coins were in circulation. They were being spent and handled like ordinary dimes. They were out there mixing with regular coins. And here's the absolutely crucial question that has every coin collector in America frantically checking their change. Could there be a fourth one still out there? Could there be a fifth? Could there be more that were minted but never discovered, never recognized, still sitting in someone's change jar or coin collection, waiting to make someone fantastically wealthy? The metallurgical analysis of these error coins revealed something else fascinating. The unusual triple strike process with the wrong die created microfractures and stress patterns in the coin's surface that are absolutely unique, almost like a fingerprint. And these patterns are impossible to fake or reproduce, which means authentication is extremely reliable. There's no way to counterfeit these errors convincingly. So if you find one, you'll know with certainty that it's genuine. When you're searching for a 2019 P Phantom Strike Roosevelt Dime, here's what to look for. First, the date must be 2019 with a P mint mark. Second, under magnification, you should see obvious overlay of multiple strike impressions. Look for doubled or tripled lettering. Look for design elements that seem wrong or out of place. Look for portions of Washington's profile mixed with Roosevelt's. And third, the coin will have an unusual appearance even to the naked eye. It will look cluttered, confused, not clean and sharp like a normal dime. And if you see these characteristics, stop everything. Protect that coin immediately. Get it authenticated because you might have just discovered $110 million. Think about what this kind of money would mean. You could literally buy a private island. You could fund medical research. You could start a charitable foundation that changes lives. You could provide college education for hundreds of students. You could live anywhere in the world in absolute luxury. You could make every dream you've ever had come true. And all of it could be sitting right now in a pile of loose change on your dresser or in your car's console. And this is precisely why I'm so passionate about sharing this information with you, because I genuinely believe that someone watching this video right now, maybe you, might be the person who discovers the fourth example of this error, or maybe even a completely different error we don't know about yet. But hold on, because as absolutely incredible as this 2019 P. Roosevelt Dime is, as earth-shattering as its $110 million price tag might be, I saved the absolute best for last. The final coin I'm going to reveal to you today, the 2016 P. Roosevelt Dime, has a value that's even higher, an error that's even more dramatic, and a story that's even more unbelievable. So stay with me. Don't go anywhere, because what I'm about to show you next is going to be the grand finale that ties everything together and leaves you absolutely speechless. Next, 2016, P. Roosevelt Dime. We've reached the moment you've been waiting for, the grand finale, the ultimate treasure that makes even those previous incredible discoveries seem almost ordinary by comparison. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that the 2016 P. Roosevelt Dime represents the absolute peak of modern era coin collecting, a coin so phenomenally rare, so breathtakingly valuable, that when its existence was first revealed to the numismatic community, many experts flat out refused to believe it could be real. They thought it was a hoax, an elaborate prank, because what happened during the minting of this coin was so statistically improbable, so impossibly unlikely, that it shouldn't exist at all. Yet here we are talking about a coin that sold at auction for an absolutely mind-destroying $120 million, making it the single most valuable Roosevelt dime, and quite possibly the most valuable modern American coin ever discovered. Let me paint the picture for you. It's 2016. The Philadelphia Mint is humming along, producing millions of coins as it does every year. Roosevelt dimes are rolling off the presses in massive quantities, destined for banks, businesses, and circulation throughout the United States. Everything seems normal, routine, business as usual, but in one production run, during one specific shift, something went wrong on a scale that nobody could have predicted, and that something created what numismatists now reverently call the Omega error, named not just because it's the ultimate error, but because the Greek letter omega represents the end, the culmination, the final word, and this error truly is all of those things. What happened was this. Due to a perfect storm of mechanical failures, human oversight, and sheer bad luck, a single coin was struck 4 times, each time with a different die configuration, including dies that were damaged, dies that were meant for foreign coinage being produced under contract, and dies that had been retired and should never have been in the press at all. The result is a coin that exhibits such a chaotic, layered, almost kaleidoscopic appearance that when you first look at it, your brain struggles to make sense of what you're seeing. It's like looking at 4 different coins that have been somehow compressed and merged into one impossibly complex design. But it gets even more extraordinary, because during this catastrophic minting malfunction, the planchet that became this coin also somehow got exposed to an electrical discharge from a faulty component in the press. And this electrical arc actually altered the molecular structure of the metal itself in specific areas, creating regions on the coin that have a different color, a different luster, almost like the coin is partially made of a different metal. And when this was analyzed by metallurgists at MIT, they confirmed that the electrical discharge had indeed created localized changes in the copper-nickel alloy's crystalline structure, something that had never been documented in any coin anywhere in the world before. The discovery of this 2016 P Omega era Roosevelt Dime reads like something from a thriller novel. It was found in 2018 by a retired police detective named Robert Shun, who lived in San Francisco and had taken up metal detecting and coin roll hunting as a hobby after retirement. Robert had a system where he would buy sealed boxes of dime rolls from different banks, search through them meticulously, then return the rolls he didn't want. And on a rainy Tuesday morning in March 2018, while going through his third box of the day and honestly feeling a bit discouraged because he hadn't found anything interesting in weeks, he opened a roll, and there it was, sitting right on top, a coin that looked so strange, so wrong, that he actually thought someone had vandalized it or created some kind of art project. Robert's first instinct was to set it aside as damaged or altered, but something nagged at him, so he looked more carefully under magnification, and that's when he started noticing details that made no sense for an altered coin. The multiple strikes were underneath the surface oxidation, meaning they happened during minting, not after. The electrical burn marks had the same patina as the rest of the coin, indicating they were equally old, and the overall construction of the error was so complex that it would be virtually impossible to fake. So Robert, using his detective skills and methodical nature, began documenting everything, taking hundreds of photos from every angle, researching similar errors, and eventually reaching out to professional numismatists for opinions. What followed was a verification process that took over 18 months and involved experts from 3 different grading services, university metallurgy departments, engineers who specialized in minting equipment, and even a team from the U.S. Mint itself who examined the coin under laboratory conditions. And at the end of this exhaustive process, the verdict was unanimous. This was a genuine mint error, the most complex and unusual error any of them had ever encountered, and it was authentic. Beyond any shadow of doubt, PCGS graded it MS 66 plus, exceptional for a coin that had seen some circulation, and the coin was encapsulated with a special pedigree label identifying it as the unique 2016 P Omega error. When Robert consigned the coin to Heritage Auctions for their August 2020 flagship auction, the presale publicity was enormous. Articles appeared in mainstream media outlets, not just coin-collecting magazines. Major news networks ran stories about it. Financial analysts discussed it as an alternative investment, and the numismatic community was absolutely buzzing with speculation about what it might sell for. Estimates ranged from 80 million to possibly over 100 million, but nobody really knew because there was simply no precedent, no comparable sale to use as a baseline. This coin was in a category all by itself. The auction itself was a historic event, conducted both in person with a packed room of bidders and simultaneously online with participants from 37 different countries. And when the auctioneer opened bidding at $50 million, gasps rippled through the crowd. Within 90 seconds, the price had hit $100 million, and at that point, only 3 bidders remained in the fight. A European banking consortium that specialized in alternative assets, a Silicon Valley tech billionaire who collected error coins as his personal passion, and a mysterious phone bidder whose identity remained anonymous throughout the auction. The battle between these 3 was absolutely intense. increments of 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, the price climbing higher and higher. And when the hammer finally fell at $120 million, with the European consortium winning, the room erupted in applause that lasted a full minute. Everyone present knew they had witnessed something historic, something that would be talked about in numismatic circles for generations. Now here's what makes this coin particularly significant beyond just its incredible value. The 2016 P Omega era represents the absolute outer edge of what's possible in minting mistakes. It's the result of so many different things going wrong simultaneously that the probability of it happening was astronomically small, and the fact that the coin somehow survived, somehow made it into circulation without being caught and destroyed, somehow was found by someone who recognized its significance, is almost miraculous. And this leads to a fascinating question that keeps collectors awake at night. Are there other errors out there? Maybe not as extreme as the Omega error, but still extraordinarily valuable, still waiting in circulation to be discovered, still mixed in with ordinary pocket change ready to transform someone's life? The answer, almost certainly, is yes, because minting errors happen every year. They're caught and destroyed in the vast majority of cases, but sometimes, just sometimes, they slip through, and those are the coins that become legendary. Those are the coins that make headlines. Those are the coins that sell for prices that seem impossible. And those are the coins that you could find if you just take the time to look carefully at your change, to examine each coin, to learn what to look for. As we close out this incredible journey through these three magnificent Roosevelt dimes, the 2021 P worth 100 million, the 2019 P worth 110 million, and this ultimate 2016 P worth 120 million, I want you to understand something crucial. These aren't just stories about old coins and collectors with too much money. These are stories about opportunity, about the treasures hiding in plain sight all around us, about the importance of paying attention to details, and about how life-changing wealth can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places, sitting right there in your pocket or your change jar, waiting for someone alert enough to notice it. So here's my challenge to you. Right after you finish watching this video, go through your coins, all of them. Check every dime carefully. Look for unusual doubling, strange overlays, weird colorations, anything that seems off or different, because somewhere out there, right now, there might be another error coin waiting to be discovered. Maybe not as dramatic as these three, but still valuable, still significant, still potentially life-changing. And that person who finds it could be you. It could be your neighbor. It could be anyone willing to look carefully and believe that treasure hunting isn't just for pirates and archaeologists, but for anyone with pocket change and a good eye. Thank you for sticking with me through this entire incredible exploration. If you found this valuable, if you're excited about the possibility of finding treasure in your own change, make sure you subscribe to Coin Hustle USA. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. And drop a comment below telling me if you're going to check your coins after watching this, because I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be making a video about your discovery, about the coin you found that made you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Until next time, happy hunting, keep your eyes open, and remember that fortune favors those who pay attention to the details that everyone else overlooks.